Elcor, and I'm going to be presenting my creative writing portfolio. Okay, the first thing that I'll be talking about or covering is my personal narrative, which I titled A Mother's Words. I can confidently say that this isn't my favorite, nor is it my best work that I've done in this class, but it's still very important to me because it was one of the first works we did, probably even the first, I can't really remember. And I've never had much creative writing experience or just writing experience in general beforehand, and I've never been able to complete a story from start to finish. And this, even though it was only for 3 pages, really challenged me. And it was my beginning to my creative writing journey, so I really appreciate it. The second section, or second part of this portfolio, is my fiction section, where I start off with my short story that I titled Technical Difficulties. It was quite difficult, to say the least. I picked a topic that I wasn't really comfortable with, and I wasn't really good at writing with, basically just boring office jobs, and it was probably the worst idea I've ever had. It was very challenging, very hard, and honestly, I don't like the way it ended up. But it was such a challenge, and it was probably the longest work I've ever done, and it was a start to finish story with a beginning, middle, end, and I'm quite proud of it. So while it's not my favorite, nor is it the best, it's still very important to me. In my portfolio, I included my final draft as well as my first draft. Even though they are quite similar, I just wanted to show that I did indeed have a first draft, and sometimes things don't always go the way they plan, so first drafts and final drafts are always good to show. Now, this work is probably my favorite work that I've ever created in the fiction section, and it was actually my nugget. No, nugget, no, nugget, stop, no. The second story I'm showcasing is my 100-word story, and it's actually probably my favorite one I've ever written, ever. I loved the characterization, I loved everything I did about it, and how I was actually able to portray my ideas through only 100 words. And it just makes me excited thinking about it because I'm really proud of this story, and it's gotta be my favorite. There's nothing that I don't think tops it. It's just, I love it. The imagery, the message, the plot twist, everything about it. I'm really proud of myself for it. Nugget! What's going on? So the final story I'm showcasing in my fiction section part of this portfolio is Heir to the Throne, where I took a spin on The Little Mermaid. Should I be explaining each one? Anyway, I selected this work because I've always wondered how Ariel's sisters acted in The Little Mermaid, or what family roles they play. And the idea of Athena, the eldest daughter, having to bear the weight of her family and kind of rule the kingdom, and since she's like the oldest, she's the heir to the throne, made me feel like that's a good idea. So this is probably one of my best works because the idea is great. Now, for my favorite section of the portfolio, poetry. And the first one I'm showcasing is Bicycle. I really wanted to focus on the simplicity of this poem and the rhythm of it. And I feel like I did a pretty great job for having always written poetry where it's very descriptive, it's like paragraphs and it's not like just little bullet points. So I think that makes it one of my best poems. Probably not my favorite, but probably makes it one of my best. My dog won't leave me alone. The second poem I selected is Seaweed, and this this is a memory poem, and it takes me back to a time where I'm in Maryland and at the campground with my family, and my mom's just like on the shore. It just brings like this essence of nostalgia that I haven't really portrayed in writing for a while. So I think this is my favorite poem, at least. I also included my pre-writing exercise for Seaweed, where it's just me basically bullet listing my memories. Ow! I greatly apologize. My dog. Anyway, I included my pre-writing exercise for Seaweed, and it basically lists off all the memories that I had in the RV trips that my family would take to New Jersey and Maryland to go visit my dad's stores. And some of them are the places that we went to. And the next poem in the section is what I titled A Typical Icy Morning. This one is of my morning routine of December and January, when I had my my puppy that my mom got me for Christmas, who I named Poppy, and recently she passed away. And Nugget, we felt very alone without her, so we got Nugget. Poppy was a big part of my life, and I still love her, and I miss her. It's a list poem. I included my list there. For example, soft blankets, morning dew, chapstick, peppermint, just stuff I would do in the mornings. Okay, next one. Called Winter's War. For some reason I named it Winter's War. I really like this one. This is probably one of my best, I would say, because I focused a lot on alliteration, which I never really used before in my poems. Last poem for the poetry unit. But this poem I hated, so I called it A Room for a Royal. I hate describing things without actually describing it. I'm proud of for what I've done, but it was difficult. Yes, the drama unit. I really like this one. I have ADHD. My dream has always been to create something, ADHD awareness thing. Yeah, and I did that with the Rorschach test. It's a test that mainly used to test schizophrenia, but can also be used to test different types of ADHD. This is like the longest thing I've ever written. I'm gonna be honest. I like the characters. I like how everything went. I don't think I've ever been more connected to characters ever that I've personally created. Not counting the 100-word story. Probably my best and favorite. I included my final draft as well as my first draft. And I also included my pre-writings. I included my setting, I included my characters' conflicts and conversation draft. I also included my plot blocking. That was my portfolio. For my personal narrative, my writing was purely from experience, and it was as true and honest as it could be with my terrible, horrible, devastating memory problems. So I tried my best to write detailed to detail, but it was as true as I could get it. I don't have the best memory. For my poems? No, for my fiction. Some of them I wasn't very proud of. Okay. That's fair. I feel like everyone has those moments, but I still appreciate every work, and I really opportunity. The poetry module. I wrote from experience for a lot of things, obviously memories, all of that. I put my best work forth. I did the best I could and put my best efforts in, and I think that's all that matters. Drama unit. I wrote truly from experience. I didn't experience most stuff from my parents. I experienced them from other people, like other teachers not really believing me. So I kind of flipped the roles. I appreciate, adore, love, genuinely love all of the works that I've created in this class, in this portfolio. I don't know if there was an other way I was supposed to present this. If I have to show every page, even though you've seen my work, if I have to do that, just let me know. I don't know how to show all of these papers are kind of hard to hold up. Just know I did it. This isn't a lot of just random, this is everything. I've never done a creative writing class. I genuinely enjoyed this class and I'm gonna miss it. Thank you. Thank you for listening to my presentation. Hope you enjoyed.